Hi friends, in our time together today, I'm sharing one of my practice sessions of Fisher's Hornpipe. It's a delightful hornpipe I recently introduced, and I'll stick a link at the end of this video to that original video so that you could check it out if you've not yet. I'll also put a link at the top of the notes to this video to the page on my website from which you could download the music and tabs for this hornpipe if you've not done that yet. Quick note on my practice sessions, then a quick note on memorizing that we talked about recently, and then a quick note on, and then just jumping in. In my practice sessions, like I like to say, I'm somewhere between, I've just introduced this tune and I don't know it well, to, oh, I feel awesome. And I rarely share this way down here where I've just introduced the tune. And I rarely share, I feel awesome about it. I want you to see my reality of what the process is like to learn a tune and to grapple with determining ornamentation, expression. And that's not the easiest thing to do, because you could just imitate somebody else, but if you've been with me, you know I don't like to just imitate somebody else. I want to hear what they're playing, and I want to say, oh, I love what they're doing there. You know, maybe I want to try something else here. And I think that's really important. And I also like to vary up what I'm doing and say like the A part and the B part of a tune, or if sections are similar, I like to change it up. Or if the mood of the tune changes, like if it has lyrics or just tonally the mood of the tune changes, I like to vary that up from an ornamentation and expression standpoint. And so really grappling with learning a tune is a process. And I know, I say that all the time, but I want to continue saying it so that we realize it deep in our hearts. And I remind myself of it all the time too. Learning a tune is a process. It involves experimenting, it involves trying things, it involves failing, it involves succeeding, and wash, rinse, repeat, all that stuff. And for my practice session today, I'm using my Carbony wide bore low D with close finger spacing and the newer to the market Compass high D. And you could pick up the Compass in a variety of bodies, and so they're both lovely. I'll set the Compass down for now. Now, I said I wanted to talk momentarily as well about using Fisher's Hornpipe as an example of what I talked about with memorizing a tune recently. And so we recently talked about where I asked the question, what's your process for memorizing a tune? And I shared mine. And really, I realized the truth of what I said in practicing Fisher's Hornpipe. I did not set out to memorize Fisher's Hornpipe. I didn't set out to do that. But, you know, my practicing involves me coming to a tune and playing it through to get the flow of the tune. And it involves me coming to the tune to play it through to decide if I can play the tune with the right feel based on what I know of the tune and how I've heard other people play it. I come back to I step away. I do that in 10, 15-minute increments. I step away. I do that 2-3 times a day with the same tune, even with different whistles. If you only have one whistle, that's great. You know your whistle better than I know mine. Then the next day, I do the same thing, and I continue that process until I'm really comfortable with the tune. Now, becoming comfortable with Fisher's Hornpipe took me a little while because I often hear it played slightly faster, and so I've had a bit of a challenge trying to do my ornamentation at pace. So, like I do, I like to dial it back. But what I found in the process of just experimenting with the tune, becoming comfortable with the tune in 10 and 15-minute segments over multiple days, that I now have the tune memorized. It just happens. And I guess that was the point of, like I said in the previous video, I should stick a link to that one at the end of this video as well. I'll do that. In the previous video, I said I felt like memorizing a tune can be a very organic thing, because as you grapple with the tune, as you struggle with determining how to play a tune and experimenting with ornamentation and expression, just the process of learning a tune seats it in your heart and mind and your hands. And so you find, oh, hey, I memorized Fischer's Hornpipe already. And that was my experience. So, enough of all that. I always add chapters so you could bounce around, and you could see those chapters at the bottom of the video. But let's jump into my practicing first on the Carbony. All right, so the tune Fischer's Hornpipe just has a beautiful flow to it. That just a lovely bouncy flow. And I think the flow in and of itself, that for me feels like it stands complete. It makes it difficult for me to think about ornamentation. The other thing that makes it difficult for ornamentation is that the tune is played that fast and a little faster, and so my fingers get a little stumbly. So I've dialed it back a bit, like I talk about us doing, and I try and think about things I want to do. Remember, I don't want to over-ornament ever. I want to accentuate the flow through ornamentation and expression. And so that was that first line. Notice a few things I did. Instead of and just running into it, I like a more complex entry. That's just a little bit coming in with a little cut on that A, or you can do something else. And what I did there at the end, instead of, I made the jump from the F sharp to the D a little run. Because runs and hornpipes like each other. And then I take that, instead of the B, C sharp, I'm turning that back into the A, B, C sharp triplet. Fairly simplistic, but for me, that's helping me play the tune a little faster. And as I become a better whistle playing musician, I will increase the ornamentation I'm going to add. But now here's where it's interesting that the A part's a little, it's an intro to the feel and the theme, and it changes moving up into the second octave in the B part. So as you come into that A part, and you've got 3 Ds there, so you got to do something with those. You could do, so I did a D, little crayon, and then you could go C sharp D or E D. That's what I'm feeling at the minute. So you play that through twice. And then you get into the B part. And the B part flows a little differently, so I'm going to add in some slides to it. So there are a couple of things. And that A, one time I'll slide to it, and the next time I'll probably cut it. And on your descents and ascents, don't just leave them as they are. Add something, a little bit of variation in. And instead of doing the triplet Ds, similar, well, the first time through, I'll do the triplet lows, first octave Ds like I did on the A part, and then like, and then the last time through, I'm going to close the tune. I'll probably do something like that, going up to the F sharp E and then the D. Whew. That's what I'm thinking. Do you have a favorite recording of this tune? Stick that in the comments. Anyway, I hope you could tell that I don't feel like I'm in the middle. I know the tune well, and I'm really working on my ornamentation and expression. I feel like I'm below happy to play it for somebody. I need to work on it a little bit more for that. So now, let me run through it on the compass, see how I do. I think it's important to walk and talk through a tune, but then it's also important to just say, let me see if I could do what I just said I might want to do. Alrighty, let's see how I'm going to do playing it through on the compass, because, like I said, I'm a little below halfway feeling excited about this. And as I was going on the Carbony, I was just thinking, some of these bounces I might want to punch more, but I haven't experimented with that yet, so I might try it out and it might cause me to stumble. We'll have to see. I need to share reality with you, right? So let's see what I'm currently feeling and playing it through. Remember, I'm going to try and do different things, and I don't know if I will or not. You just got to try it. See, I've got work to do. Now, it just hit me as I was playing that. Also, another thought. In that B part, the first section of the B part should be stronger than the last section. And then from there, you see the last line of the B part resembles some of the phrasing of the A part. And so I want to play the A part in a particular way. And then I want to punch the start of the B part and then dial it back minimally at the end of the B part. These are all things that jump around in my brain. I want to share them with you, even though I'm not 100% happy with where I am. So remember, I've got links at the end of the video to the original video where I walked us through the tune and introduced it, and a link at the end of this video if you've not checked it out on, what's your process for sticking a tune in your brain and memorizing it. And it's all helpful. Remember to get the music and tabs if you've not done so yet. And thanks for hanging out with me as I stumble my way through Fisher's Hornpipe in a practice session. I appreciate you. I love the community we have. And if you're not a part of the community yet, please subscribe, dive in, comment. We've got just the best folks helping each other out. I love it. Until next time, this is Scott Shade. Happy whistling, friends.